Today, we'll be reviewing the AK700ST projector from BenQ. The 700 series of projectors from BenQ includes the AH and the AK700ST, with really the main difference being that the AK is a 4K projector while the AH is a 1080p. Specifically designed for golf simulation, these projectors offer a short throw lens, great color accuracy, excellent brightness, and an autofit feature that makes picture correction a breeze. We found the AK700ST particularly ideal for our curved screen setup due to its built-in geometric warping feature. Let's take a look at the specs and conduct a real-world test to determine if the AK700ST is the right projector for you. Here's a list of the specs for the AK700ST. One of the standout features of the AK700ST is its autofit function, which makes setup incredibly simple. With the press of a button, autofit automatically detects the screen and adjusts the image to fit perfectly. No manual tweaking required. This can be a game changer for golf simulator users, eliminating the hassle of fine-tuning keystone correction or adjusting the image alignment manually. Check out how simple it was for us to autofit the projector with our test setup. All right, so now we're gonna go through the setup for the AK700ST projector. Like we talked about before, it's got this really cool feature on it. It's pretty unique where it has an auto fit. So you can see our screen isn't really lined up very well right now, but we've got it positioned at the correct distance from the screen. So we're gonna show you just how easy it is to get this image on the screen perfectly. So the first thing I'm going to do is there's just a button on here that you can click that will bring up the auto adjustment section. And all you have to do is bring that up, hit OK to adjust now. In the projector, you can see it's adjusting the zoom. It's looking at the screen. And now it's going to figure out the correct size. And there you have it. That like you can see, it zoomed out to get the image to fit the screen. It looked at the screen size and it automatically adjusted down. This feature only works with a standard aspect ratio, 4:3, 16:9, 16:10, and it will also work with a 1:1 ratio. If you have a non-standard aspect ratio, this will not work and you'll have to do some manual adjustment, usually on your computer. One thing to note when using AutoFit is to make sure that your projected image extends at least 6 centimeters beyond the edge of your screen, and to make sure that your viewable screen size is a standard aspect ratio, like 4:3, 16:9, 16:10, or 1:1. In addition to AutoFit, the AK700ST also offers 2D keystone correction of plus or minus 30 degrees vertical, horizontal, or rotational. The AK700ST is perfect for our curved screen enclosure with its short throw distance and geometric correction. AutoFit won't work with a curved screen, but the process is still pretty simple. Here's an example of getting it to fit our curved screen enclosure with just a few quick adjustments. Thanks to autofill and these advanced correction tools, setup is quick, easy, and stress-free, making the AK700ST one of the most user-friendly projectors for golf simulators. So let's just turn this projector around and we can show you the different options it has for connectivity. It has 2 HDMI ports, USB Type A for power supply and service, another USB Type A for a wireless dongle, a USB Type-C with DisplayPort and power delivery, an RS-232 9-pin for control, and a 3.5mm audio output. Next, we performed a brightness test where we used a light meter to measure the amount of light that hits the screen from the projector. The AK700ST delivered a lux reading of 170 at a distance of 13 feet from the projector to the screen. This high brightness level ensures clear and vivid images, even in environments with some ambient light. After testing for brightness, we tested for dynamic range, color accuracy, and sharpness. All right, first off, let's take a look at the colors. So we're looking at a monitor with the same image displaying on it right now. I'm kind of comparing and contrasting what we see. When we're looking at the colors, the first thing we noticed were the green and the red look a little bit maybe more dull on the projector than they do in real life or on the monitor. There's maybe a little more pop from the monitor, but the blue is something that looks very true to color. So with all that being said, even though the green and the red, they aren't quite as vibrant, don't have as much pop, I mean, the hue of them is pretty much spot on from what we can tell. And then we're really impressed with the yellow right here. In the past on some projectors, yellows looked maybe a little orange or maybe had a little bit of a green tint to it. But here, I mean, it just looks pure yellow, it's really impressive. So now looking at the color gradient going across here, in the past, some projectors, there's been areas where the colors have looked kind of muddy going from one to another. But on this one, I don't see that at all. It looks fantastic. It looks really close to what we're seeing on the monitor. I see smooth transitions all the way across without any of the kind of blending and muddy colors that we've seen in the past. One other thing that we like to look at is on these lines in this area, chromatic aberration, where sometimes you can see a little bit of discoloring. With this projector, if it's there, it is very minimal, which is really a good sign and really points to a good high quality lens that comes with that projector. All right, so next up we are going to look at sharpness. Let's start here with the lines going across. As you can see, starts off nice and clear, and as the lines get smaller, closer together, I mean, you can still down here see each individual line pretty clearly, especially if you get right up next to the screen. It's very easy to distinguish between the different lines. So that's really impressive. Looking up here at the top, again, you can see the lines easily. With this one where you have the cross hatching, it's very easy to distinguish the vertical and horizontal lines. So you've got a nice, crisp, clear image on the screen. So what's really impressive with this is we didn't actually touch the focus at all. This was just all done during the auto fit setup. It focused itself, and this is the clarity it came up with. You might not get that every time, depending on your exact setup. So there's a way to go in through the menu and do a manual focus. But with our setup right now, it absolutely nailed it. So as we mentioned before, this is a 4K projector, which I think you can really tell with the clarity that you're seeing on the screen and the nice crisp image. Really shines through here. We will also show you the 1080p version of this projector, which is the AH700ST, just so you can get an idea of a 4K projector versus a 1080p. Okay, so now we are going to look at the dynamic range. Let's start off looking here at these different rectangles. You can see very clear definition between each of the 6 rectangles there, which is really nice to see. Looking at this gradient right above it, it's, again, a nice smooth transition all the way across from black to white with no sudden jumps anywhere that I can see. Looking at the checkerboard pattern, you can see over on the side here where the black meets the black border of our screen. I mean, you can't really even tell the difference. Those are nice deep blacks that you're seeing on the screen. And it blends in, I mean, almost seamlessly with the actual black material that we sew into our screens. So this projector has a 3,000,000 to 1 contrast ratio, and I mean, you can really see it. That's really showing up here with how deep these blacks are compared to the bright whites that are right next to it on the image. The AK700ST excels in color accuracy, covering 95% of the Rec. 709 color space. The projected images were vibrant and true to life, closely matching what we observed on a calibrated monitor. The dynamic range was impressive, with deep blacks and bright vivid highlights, enhancing the overall image quality. Sharpness was exceptional thanks to the 4K resolution, providing clear and detailed visuals that enhance the simulation experience. Next, we ran through a few different courses on the GSpro software to show you what gameplay looks like on the AK700ST. Here's an example of how this projector looks with some ambient light, if you don't have a totally light controlled space. We're sitting at about 6 or so lux for our ambient brightness hitting the screen. So this is what the screen will look like in a non-light controlled area with this projector. Here's an example using video to show the picture quality for those planning on using their setup to watch movies or videos. So while we really like the AK700ST, it isn't without flaws. A couple of the things that we noticed were there's no manual adjustments. So there's no manual zoom ring on here, there's no manual focus. So you actually have to go in through menu settings to make those adjustments, which can be kind of a pain. And then also we noticed that the color wheel on it was giving us some issues when we were trying to film the screen. So if you are using a swing camera, that can possibly create issues with seeing that rainbow scrolling effect on the screen. It won't necessarily affect your being able to view your swing, but in the background you will definitely see the screen scrolling with that rainbow effect. The AK700ST is going to be an excellent projector for the price range. You have some comparable projectors that are maybe a couple of $1,000s more. It has a 4,000 lumen output, which is really nice for a space that has a little bit of ambient light, or if you're going with a much larger screen, you're gonna need that additional lumen count to get a nice, good pop. for the image. And that really helps with our curved screens as well, because those tend to have a wider image that you need to project. The short throw distance is very nice. It helps to position the projector, keep it out of the way of the golfer, and help minimize the chance of seeing shadows on the screen. And the image warping is a really cool feature that we were surprised to see on it. It wasn't listed in any of the official specifications that we saw, but when it came to setting up our curved screen, it made it really simple to do. It seems like with every new projector that we see, the color accuracy is just getting better and better, and that's no exception with the AK700ST. When we did our color testing and we compared it to our monitors that we had, I mean, the colors look very similar between the two, and the fact that it has the golf mode, which really helps to enhance some of those greens, it makes it perfect for a golf simulator. We hope this review helps you determine if the AK700ST is the right projector for you. If you have any questions or if you'd like to see comparisons with other models, please leave a comment below. If you found this content helpful, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more reviews and tips on building your own golf simulator setup.